We now come to radio buttons. Radio buttons are a popular form of web page interaction. You may have seen these on quizzes, questionnaires, and other websites that give the user a multiple choice question. Radio buttons are similar to checkbox, but the differences is, like a car radio, you can only have one radio button selected, while users can select as many checkboxes as desired. Here is the tag, the input tag, type radio for my radio button. The attributes related to the radio button are name and value. The value specifies what will be sent if the user chooses this radio button. In my example here, they're choosing whether they're male or female. So it'll send that information to your email if you're sending this to your email, or to your CGI script if you're using a CGI script to handle your form elements. The name defines the set of radio buttons that this particular button is a part of. Because you can only have one radio button selected at a time, you need to group your radio buttons by name. In other words, if you choose option 1, option 2, or option 3 will deselect. If we go ahead and preview this in the browser, notice that I can only choose one option, male or female. Much like a car radio, you can only have one option selected at a time. So that notice for my sex group here of radio buttons, there's only two options, male or female. So in this case, there's only two members here of this group. If I was polling what kind of computer you were using, I might have half a dozen or more members of the radio group named computer, such as Mac, Dell, HP, Sony, etc. Quickly reviewing the code that comprises the radio buttons, we can see that these are input tags, type radio in quotation marks, the name attribute, the value attribute, then the actual label of the radio button. Don't forget the labels. Without the labels, your users won't know what kind of information they're providing you. In other words, if I don't have the male and female, they won't know what these radio buttons actually do. Much more about proper techniques for formatting your form elements later. But checkboxes are also a very popular form element. These, as I mentioned previously, allow for multiple items to be selected at once for a certain group of choices. So let me now move on to the next movie and review how to code HTML checkboxes.